Have you ever been to Franklin, Tennessee? It's an amazing city steeped in culture, southern charm, and history. In this video, we're taking a look at our favorite things to do and see there. So join Viewcation as we present the best things to do in Franklin, Tennessee. Franklin on foot. We don't often start a video recommending you go on an official tour because we think it's fun to explore a city on your own first. But the folks who run Franklin on foot have a great thing going, and it's worth checking out. Their well-crafted and fun tours are a great way to explore Franklin, to not only see the layout and attractions of the town, but also to get a history lesson of the area. Considering Franklin has been around since 1799, there's a lot of amazing history to learn about. What's clever about the Franklin on foot tours is they're thematically organized. So you can do a tour that's centered around the Civil War. It focuses on Franklin as it existed in the war, and there are numerous sites and scars you can see that are left over from that era. If you're a foodie, you can take their food-centered tour and get a taste of the best restaurants in the city. If you prefer something on the spooky side, you can take their ghost-centric tour, in which you're introduced to the many departed socialites and soldiers who haunt the city. And finally, if you aren't looking for a themed tour, they also offer one called the Classic Franklin Tour. That's a basic journey through downtown Franklin for a great overall sense of the city. Regardless of which tour you pick, you won't be disappointed. Downtown. Speaking of downtown Franklin, it's likely the first place you'll want to head back to after your tour with Franklin on foot is over. That's because it's the hub of the city and has a ton to offer visitors and locals alike. It's been called America's favorite Main Street and does its best to keep living up to that moniker. For starters, Franklin's downtown maintains a charming and quaint feel because it's managed to keep so many historical buildings intact and usable. That's likely why the National Register of Historic Places has included it in its lists. You'll feel like you've traveled back 100 years or so as you walk down the streets of the downtown area, which is lined with well-kept trees and gorgeous shrubs and flowers. There are storefronts that look like they were snatched right out of Victorian England. Perhaps chief among them is the incredible-looking Franklin Theater. It's been providing the city with live entertainment since the late 30s and is still a hub of culture and live shows today. As you walk around, you'll be able to get your fill of shopping and food options. If you're a fan of books, you should definitely check out Landmark Booksellers. Not only are they situated in a building that's been around for more than 200 years, but they also have an impressive collection of rare books. And if you get hungry on the walk, you might want to pop into Gray's in Maine. Not only are they renowned for having a killer Nashville hot chicken sando, but they also have live music you can listen to while you wait. The downtown area also offers some fun events, like on the first Friday of the month, when the local galleries open up their doors to the public as part of the Downtown Art Crawl. There's also the Main Street Festival, which you can check out if you happen to be visiting Franklin in April. It's a fun outdoor event featuring live music, food trucks, craft sellers, and more. And if you're there in October, you'll love the local Pumpkin Fest. Lotz House Museum. The role that Franklin played in the Civil War has a lot of influence on modern-day Franklin. In late 1864, the Lotz House inadvertently found itself a major part of a local battle during the war, when 25,000 Union soldiers descended upon it. They had retreated from nearby Spring Hill to avoid taking more losses and to regroup. They camped out on the land around the house and used it as a fortified home base in the area. But it was attacked by Confederates, and both sides were thrust into some grueling and gruesome hand-to-hand fighting. The battle became known as the Battle of Franklin, and there were many losses to both sides, which led to the assertion in modern times that it hosts the most Civil War soldier ghosts of anywhere in the area. As such, there's a tour that focuses on the ghost element of the house and battlefield. You can also take a walking tour, where you'll walk the grounds and learn about the battle while getting to see remnants of it, like bullet holes in the walls of the house. There's also a tour focused on the role that local women played in the battle. It's a great way to immerse yourself in one of the most important and bloody battles of the Civil War. Bowie Nature Park. Dr. Evangeline Bowie began cultivating this park in the 1950s. And when we say cultivating, we mean she was literally in the fields digging lakes, building park structures, and planting 500,000 trees. When it was built up to her liking, she decided to gift it to the city of Franklin. The city has since maintained it, and it's a flourishing location that appeals to locals and visitors alike. It's more than 700 acres of green space, interspersed with water elements, and it's a gorgeous example of southern nature. It's actually similar in size and scope to Central Park in New York, but it's filled with a lot more wildlife, so that gives it a much more wilderness feel than Central Park. And yet it's equally filled with green space for picnics, sports, outdoor classes, and more. There are great hiking hiking opportunities, including guided hikes led by a naturalist. You can even go horseback riding in Bowie Nature Park. It's a perfect oasis of green that even the most ardent of city folk will love to take advantage of while visiting Franklin. Gatehouse at Dark Horse Recording Estate. It probably won't surprise you that as a city in Tennessee, there are a lot of country music fans in the area, and if you're a diehard fan, you can get a truly incredible experience in Franklin, staying in the famous Dark Horse recording studio. Legends like Keith Urban and Taylor Swift have recorded there, and most likely stayed there while recording. That's because not only is it a world-class studio, but it also has accommodations on the property. There are rooms underneath the studio where folks like Faith Hill and Rob Thomas often stay while they record. Then there's the Gatehouse, a 3-bedroom house that other stars have opted to stay in while they're churning out the hits. The rooms are open for rent to the public, provided there aren't any superstars currently recording there. If you rent the house, you'll be able to tour the studio and roam the property like you're the biggest new thing in the country music scene. Natchez Trace Parkway. Anyone who's a fan of sunrises should be sure to head to the Natchez Trace Parkway, which provides one of the better sunrises you might ever see. The parkway traverses through several states and heads through Franklin. People often hike it, bike it, and take photos of it. As the parkway makes its way into Franklin, it meets a double-arch bridge that looks down over the entire area. You can either look at Franklin and the Tennessee wilderness from atop the bridge, or you can head below it to an observation point set apart from the car and bike traffic zooming by. Either way, you're going to love the views you're afforded. And as we mentioned, the sunrise is particularly riveting. You'll cherish any photos you take from the parkway at dawn, even if you have to immediately take a nap afterwards. One recommended choice is to rent e-bikes from Pegado, which has a location in the downtown area. You can grab one for the day and bike along the parkway, or buy a spot in one of the cool tours they offer there. Whiskey time. Tennessee whiskey is nearly as famous as Tennessee country music, though the two often go hand in hand. And a trip to Franklin wouldn't be complete, assuming you're a whiskey drinker, than getting a taste of the fine spirit at a local distillery. Company Distillery at Thompson Station is a fun first stop, and it has a cool founding story. It was created by a local lawyer who first took it upon himself to lobby for a bill that would allow him to open the distillery. The county had still been operating on a century-old prohibition law, so that meant there weren't any local distilleries. But he managed to get the state senate to pass the bill, allowing him to open up shop. This was an important step because since then, more than 40 distilleries have been started up in the state. There's also Leiper's Fork Distillery, which boasts a tasting room that is a legit log cabin. You'll feel like you're sipping whiskey in the 1800s as you look out into their impressive grounds. Now it's time to hear from you. Have you ever been to Franklin, Tennessee? If so, did we miss any of your favorite places to go? If not, do you think you'll ever get there? Let us know in the comments section below.